everybody, welcome back. It's Uncle Mike. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner. Big game this week, first league game, Lakewood, 7 o'clock, Lakewood High School. Make sure you join us. M&B Broadcasting will be broadcasting live. We'll be on about 10 minutes to quarter two, and we'll be ready to go at 7 o'clock. Hopefully we've got our stuff together a little bit better than we did on Saturday. A lot of things going on, and we were trying to do it all at one time, and I apologize if the angles were bad. If you saw the back of my head too much, I apologize for that look. But we're going to talk to Coach Leonard. We're going to talk to a couple players, and we're going to definitely answer some questions about how everybody's doing. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Lewis Auto Glass, Lush Schwab Tire, JB Formal Wear, Bell Bridal. I'd like to thank everybody for helping us out, being a part of our broadcast this year, especially being a part of the Coach's Corner. So stay tuned. Going to be a great day. Week number 2. First league game coming your way.
Experience and trust has made Lewis Auto and Residential Glass the Northwest's leading choice since 1929. Whether it's on-the-spot rock chip repair or replacing your windshield, we have been trained and certified to strict national standards to ensure your safety. Our residential division offers the latest in vinyl windows, showers, mirrors, cut, and custom glass. Locally owned and operated since 1929, Lewis Auto and Residential Glass in Bellingham, Linden, and Mount Vernon.
Welcome back. Uncle Mike here, live Coach's Corner at Bellingham High School. My special guest, not Gabe, who's making faces at us, but is Finnegan Jensen. And we don't call him Finnegan. We call him Finn, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Finn is a lineman, and he is the offensive line. So we're going to talk a little bit about Saturday. Tell me how things went Saturday.
At the start of the game, it felt like we came off pretty strong. Second play of the game, touchdown. That was definitely fun to see. Throughout the game, defense played definitely lights out. Felt like our offense couldn't figure things out throughout the game. I don't exactly know what that was. Maybe not prepared for their defense, or I'm not quite sure. But wish we could have had a little more score on the board there, but.
Yeah, unbelievable to lose by 3 points in double overtime against a team that, like Coach said, 90% of the time you would have beat because of just the mathematics, right?
Yeah.
Turnovers and everything else were great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me what you're going to do after high school. You're a senior this year.
Well, I'm applying to colleges now. I'm hoping to go to Montana State and Bozeman. Don't know what I'm going to major in yet, but I'm looking forward to that. So
you're going to be a fish and wildlife guy, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what sounds fun to me for sure. So
if you're going to do it, do something fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what your game plan is for this week.
Well, I think we're going to go a lot harder at practice, work a lot more on pass blocking and run blocking, stuff that we just didn't seem to do too well on Saturday, and hopefully preparation for a way tougher opponent. So.
Yeah, very good. It's going to be a tough one, the league game,
Yep.
right off the bat, and away you go, right?
Yep.
Hey, thanks so much, Finn. We appreciate you.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks, Mike.
Finn Jensen, thanks so much for your time and efforts on the field. That young man is going to go places. He's probably going to be asking for your fishing license here in a few years, so make sure you memorize the face. Coming back, I've got Ben Leonard, the younger of the crowd. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Uncle Mike here, Coach's Corner. This is our third one, second week of football games. I've got the young Ben Leonard. He is just a tyrant. If you didn't watch him much on Saturday, go back and watch Saturday's game. He's that lone guy out there that Joe's trying to throw to every now and then. Ben, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I play receiver. I'm a sophomore, and
Yeah? What other sports do you play?
I play basketball and baseball as well.
Yeah, you're a shooter, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I talk a lot about the shot clock during the broadcast because shot clock is basketball. I'm a big basketball guy. Ben knows that he touches it. What do you do with it?
Shoot
it. That's right. Ben, tell me a little bit about your transition into playing on the varsity.
First year, my freshman year, I played C team. I played quarterback, and I really enjoyed playing receiver, and I worked hard and earned a spot on varsity.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me how much time you spent this summer. I mean, really need to say congratulations because you worked really hard. You and Joe spent a lot of time together in the summertime. It's amazing to me how much you've improved.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Tell me a little bit about what's going to happen Friday night.
Offensively, we need to work on getting good chunks of yardage every play, throwing the ball short. It's getting 5 or 6 yards every play. Defensively, we look pretty good right now.
Did you yell at Joe and say, "I'm wide open"?
Yeah.
Throw me the ball, Joe. Right?
Yeah.
All right. That's great. Hey, Ben Leonard here. We appreciate Ben and his time. Thanks, Benny.
Thanks,
Appreciate it, brother. All right. Finnegan Jensen, Ben Leonard. Coming up next, the man, Coach Adam Leonard. I'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. It's Uncle Mike right here at the Coach's Corner. I'd like to thank our two special guests, Finnegan Jensen, the Finn man, and Ben Leonard, the younger Leonard. Not the youngest Leonard. The youngest Leonard's out there practicing football somewhere, throwing 100,000 yards of passing yards, which we'll see him in a couple years, and we'll get him on the Coach's Corner. Coach Leonard, tough week. I mean, lots we can talk about, but we're just going to kind of keep it focused. Some guys were running for their lives, and some guys were working their tails off on defense. Tell me a little bit about Saturday.
Saturday was a tale of two sides of the ball. Obviously, one of the best defensive performances I've seen in a long time by a Bayhawk team. I'm a math person, so when you look at you win the turnover battle +2, you hold a team to 58 rushing yards, you outgain them in yardage, and you do all the right things. You have a 90% chance of winning. So I guess Chief South had the lucky lottery number because they came out with a win they really shouldn't have. They stole one there, and I think we play them 9 more times. I think it's actually 9 more wins for us. So it was one of those days. It's a non-conference game, so you learn from it. We have a great opportunity this week with Lakewood, and I just feel bad for the guys because it was such a tough, hard-fought battle, one that shouldn't have been. We cleaned up some mistakes, kind of got the short end of the stick on a few calls down there by some Seattle refs, but that's all part of the game. So I'm not going to sit there. Refs don't determine the outcome of the game. Just some of the calls didn't go our way. But at the end of the day, it's a 10-7 double overtime loss. It's a hard one to swallow, but I think it's fueling our guys right now and getting ready for our first conference game that we haven't had in a long time.
I was really impressed with the way practice went this evening. I mean, just in the way of how much they really put forth the effort. It's amazing to me, too, that these young guys are picking up the mistakes they made. They're talking about it. They're willing to admit, hey, I didn't do a great job. Your defense just was fabulous, though. I mean, turnovers. I mean, that poor quarterback, he had nowhere to go, didn't he, most of the day?
I mean, he was running for his life. He was receiving the snap, and he had either Kaiser or Sonny or the Frost Train or Carlos. People were in his grill the entire time. I mean, he had a long day. When we talk about our quarterback getting beat up a little bit and Joe Harwood, difference is Joe's 6'4", about 195, and pure muscle, so he's going to hold up a little bit better than a little bit their other guy. But we also want to, it's game 1. We want to make sure we see Joe out there in game 8. So we want to do a better job, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Mike. The way the kids responded to it at practice was phenomenal. I mean, you could be hanging your head, but it's week 1. We're going into week 2. Look at our team last year. We had 3 just heartbreaking losses in a row, and then we rattle off 6 straight wins or 5 straight wins, and in monstrous fashion. And that's something I think this team can do. I mean, we're going to be tested week in and week out, but this is a dog fight of a league. Every game you go out there, you're playing a great opponent. You're playing, in my opinion, a top 10 opponent in the state. So you get a win, and you go down to Lakewood and you sneak a win out there and get it home, you should be feeling great. And that's the best cure for a miserable loss that we had this weekend.
And a long ride home, right?
Absolutely.
And the thing is Archbishop Murphy took it to Lakewood last Friday night. Pretty big deficit. Lakewood air attack, pretty much.
Yeah, they have an athletic quarterback. They have a Joe Harwood, not as big as Joe, but he's a good passing quarterback. He's also quick. They have athletes. We've played him in other sports. We played him in basketball. They're like a 6' and under team in basketball. They have a bunch of receivers that can go out and catch. They have a couple of premier athletes too. But I like the way we match up with our physicality.
Yeah.
I feel like we are a hard hitting team, and I feel like I feel like, we talk about how we've been in the ice baths, we're recovering. I'm sure Chief South is recovering from getting pounded on all day too. And, I think any team that comes up and plays the Bayhawks is really going to feel it, because we like to hit hard, and we got some big physical guys that like to lay the wood a little bit, like to lay the lumber out there, and then I expect more of that. I think we're going to be tested in our secondary. I think we're going to be tested in how well we cover, but I think our guys are up to the challenge. And Coach Gavin's been prepping these guys all week. He's got his plan, and I think he's ready to see what we can do.
I was really impressed with Finn. Talked to him a little bit, interviewed him today. He knows that there was mistakes that were made, and he owned that mistake. I mean, he was apologetic to Joe. It's just one of those things. I think that being baptized by fire sometimes is the best way to, that's how you make a good sword. You put it in the fire and you make it pound the crap out of it. I think those guys are really going to answer the call. That line is going to step up.
I do. I think, first game, some guys hadn't had varsity experience. We compare quarterbacks, Josh Leonard coming in playing since he was 5 years old, the position, and Joe Harwood playing his first game ever. Yeah. And talk about throwing a kid in the deep end of the pool and say, hey, start swimming. That's how, that's how our grandparents taught us how to swim.
That's right.
But that's what happened to Joe. And so I think now he's got that under his belt. I think the lights, the Friday night lights are going to be fun. Yeah. But I think the actual game speed and everything is, he's experienced that. So he's going to be ready for that. And I think he's going to be in a more calmer situation. They say the thing about high school and then college and obviously the NFL, the game slows down. Yeah. The more experience you have, the game slows down. And I think that's what's going to happen for Joe this week, as he gets into his second game, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mark Wright made a great comment right there at the end of practice. Offense, you owe the defense one. Your defense played awesome. Your offense struggled a little bit, had lots of opportunities. Do you think that with the manpower that you have, that you're going to be able to step it up on that offense?
I do. I also think it's going to be, I put a lot of the blame on myself, because I want to put Joe and the rest of the receivers in a situation that are beneficial to their strengths. Yep. Different guys have different strengths, and I think the key is with the speed of the game is Joe using his quick thinking and getting the ball out quick, getting to the receiver's hands. And I think once we establish that we can, hit some quick outs, hit some slants, hit some, some quick hitters under 2.5 to 3 seconds, Joe's not going to be running back there 4 or 5 seconds for his life. And I think it's going to be, it'll keep the defense on their toes. And then, of course, we have Joe as a running option, that dual threat quarterback. He is a pure dual threat. I haven't had that. I raise pocket passers in my house. So, Nick's a bit of a dual threat too, but he's one of the best athletes on the team, and he can do it with his arm and he can do it with his legs, and I want to see him do it with his arm more too. Takes the pressure off taking that beating.
So do I.
Yeah, I'm sure you do too. So
does his mom.
You're running out of ice.
Let me just tell you, Joe's used to running from his big brothers, right? So, Big Red comes down the hallway, you're moving,
We had that discussion. We figured, Joe can take a beating because he lives with Jesse, so he's his whole life. So, Jesse's been beating on him since he's a little kid. So, Joe I showed a lot of toughness, and I think, you look at the passing stats, oh, what happened here? But you also look at the rushing stats that were unbelievable, and you forget, too, that he's running the ball, and he's getting hit hard. Coach Gavin just wanted to remind me, too. He goes, that kid is tough. And I go, you don't have to tell me. I know how tough Joe is, and he's coming out there, and I'm glad that's why. People say, why do you like these big quarterbacks, Coach Leonard? Because I need them to be able to take hits, stand in the pocket, run the ball when we need to, move the chains a little bit. And I think Joe's going to have that for this weekend. I think now that we had that first game under our belt, I think things are going to settle. The dust is settled, and I think we're ready to play our best ball.
I agree. Tell me what you're going to look for from Lakewood. Really very talented quarterback, throws the ball well. What else they got?
Well, they can spread it on you. They have a couple of supreme athletes that are very, very good. They do a lot of trick plays, a lot of reverses. They do an unbalanced line where they put their center in them on one side of the field, so he's an eligible center, and he'll snap the ball just with no guards and the rest of the line on the other side of the field. They'll do weird things. They'll do that for their extra points. They'll do that in regular play. They try to get number 4. That's their key player. He's a stud athlete, and we're going to have to account for him. They do a lot. They like mixing it up. It was funny watching the scout video, because you have that team, and you have Archbishop Murphy that runs the wing T and says, we're going to run the ball here and try to stop us.
That's right.
And they got some big dogs on that team too that we're going to have to play in a couple weeks, and we're looking forward to the challenge. I actually think we match up defensively better against Archbishop, because I think we're made to stop the run.
Right. Plug the hole.
So we have to make some adjustments this week against a very good, I was going to say 7-on-7 team, but they are a very good 7-on-7 team. They're a very athletic team, likes to spread it out, but they also have to protect their quarterback, and Coach Gavin likes to bring the pressure. So we'll see how well he can handle our pressure.
So injuries, how's Frosty doing? Tell me where we're at there.
Frosty's in a tough situation because he keeps re-aggravating his hamstring. He'll be ready to play on Friday, but it's how we handle him during the week. How we make sure that we care to his needing to rest and get the inflammation down and get his hamstring where it needs to be. But he'll be ready for Friday. Isaiah was banged up a little bit. Wasn't at practice today. Took the day off, trying to do a little healing. Guys got a lot of bumps and bruises. Obviously Joe, and we have some good news though. So we have a new player that transferred here last year, Fabian Singh. He's joined the team. Once he has his 12 practices in, he'll be ready to go. He's an outside linebacker, tight end type receiver, basketball player here too for the Bayhawks. And then, Jordan Stone, he gets his 4th practices in this week. He is eligible, and he's a big pickup. He's a utility knife. We can use him on the line in the backfield. He can play some D-line, some linebacker. He's everywhere. And as you know, Jordan fears nobody. We could be playing the Dallas Cowboys this weekend, and he'd be like, "Coach, I'll play nose. I'll go against him." And so he fears, so he's ready to go. So that's good news, and it's football. So guys will take it easy, get back and get healthy. But all those bumps and bruises by Friday should be all ironed out.
And he really, Stone is just stone cold. He'll just run you over.
And he'll do it with a stoic look on his face. Yeah, like you don't know. I have trouble understanding. I'm like, how's your day going? Excited about the Friday? Yeah, I could ask him 3 different questions on different levels, and he would give me the same answer. But yeah, he'll be ready for Friday.
Good, Coach. We love having you. I know that last week was tough for you, and I'm glad that it's over and we're moving on to Lakewood.
We're excited. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, there it is, right from the coach's mouth. We always love it. I'll be right back.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Hurry in and save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires, plus get an extra $50 off with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
Welcome back. Thanks so much to my special guests, Finn and Ben. Great to have 2 young guys that are excited, trying to work the microphone in their faces a little bit just to give them a little bit of experience. And of course, Adam Leonard, what a great opportunity it is to speak to him. Rough loss last weekend, moving on to Lakewood. We'll be in Lakewood at 7 o'clock live on MMB Broadcasting. Make sure that you subscribe, thumbs up, comments. Brock's really willing to, and we saw some of the comments. It was tough with the lighting, uniform color. It kind of confused everybody, but we're gonna get better. That was our first game. We took a lot of bumps and bruises, got some injuries. Just kidding. Thanks everybody for joining us. Make sure you tune in. Coach's Corner, Uncle Mike. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.